Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back. Oh, I've been doing a song intro for all of the labs.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I mean, I've not co-hosted for you except once?
I know. I was sitting here thinking that, and actually, did you co-host? I feel like I always co-host for you, but it's never been the other way around.
Well,
Here we are.
Maybe today is a first.
It's happening.
It is happening. Oh, well, I've got my, I had my sound on.
I did the same thing yesterday. It's fine. Oh my gosh, I'm about to turn the table over.
Happy Thursday. I'm so excited for you all to see these absolutely amazing hacks that Alicia has been working so hard to bring you guys.
Yes.
Y'all, if you are ready to learn some sublimating hacks, we have them for you.
These are like the ones.
They are like, we've been sublimating for a while now.
Yeah.
And these are like, take your sublimation from here to here. Like it takes it to the next game, to the next level.
The next game.
The next game, definitely the next game. But I'm so excited. So if we have anyone new, if you have not tuned in at all this week for sublimation, drop us an emoji. Let us know that you're here with us. This is the first time with us this week. If you've not been here, we are running a special. This is Sublimation Week. So this week has been all about sublimation. We do have Makers Gonna Sublimate going on right now for $70 off, y'all. No coupon needed. This is definitely something you need to hop on now because tomorrow is the last day.
Yeah.
Like we're closing the doors for this program. It will be the last day tomorrow. So definitely hop on this deal while we still have it.
Yes.
Because it is not one that you're gonna wanna miss.
Yes.
And if sublimation is something that you've been wanting to do, but you weren't sure, starting with this program before purchasing everything you need.
Yeah.
Because we were actually working this morning on a cost breakdown of everything.
Yes, which is great. You're gonna go over that tomorrow, right?
We're gonna go over cost breakdown, you know, what it would take to make your money back, things like that. So, but starting with this course would really help. So you have guidance when you go to buying your printer, or you have guidance when you go to buy ink and everything else.
And you can, I've said this before, like you guys can go search out all of this information. You can spend a lot of time doing it yourself, but what Tanner did is consolidate everything you need to know into one program. That way it's right there for you. You have something to refer back to. Once you sign up, it's yours forever.
Right.
It's like, you don't have to go, oh, did I save that video of that specific thing that I need to do? Like you're gonna get heat setting, like presets.
Yes.
You're gonna know how to convert your printer. Like anything you can think about that you might need to sublimate with is gonna be in that course. And everything we went over this week, if you're on the fence, is gonna push you over to decide, I wanna get this course, I'm ready to sign up for this course, because
absolutely.
We just touched base. Like we're not even diving in that deep this week.
Yeah, and just to kind of put a little bit into perspective, like I was doing research myself, not using the course, just to see how long it would take to kind of start compiling this information and looking at things. I've literally been doing it all day. So it would, if I was really gonna jump into the sublimation business, it would absolutely take me 3 or 4 days to research and really come to that. Just buying the stuff where we have one video that tells you, okay, this is what we've tested. We've tested this, and this.
These products,
These are the best. And then you actually start learning the process of how to sublimate.
Yes, so it's just so much more easy if you know and you're like, I'm ready to be serious about it. Like it's just gonna save you a lot of hassle, a lot of money. It's gonna save you if you already have all the things you need in the course. It's gonna tell you, oh, you need this printer, you need these type of blanks. We have made it simple for you guys so you're not having to do all of that dirty work. So there was someone asked, T. Renee said, I'm not even sure what sublimation is. So for those that may be new and do not know, just a really quick rundown. What sublimation is it is a special type of ink that you print on a printer. Now you can convert a regular printer, like an EcoTank printer, that you actually physically put the inks into a sublimation printer, and that sublimation ink is
a special ink. It's a special dye that you print on sublimation paper. And what it does is it heats up with gas. So with a heat press convection oven, different things you can use for that heat source. It heats that ink up, turns it into a gas. That gas then adheres to polymers. So that's why polyester shirt, a polymer coating on all of the cups, things like that. It adheres to that polymer and it is there forever.
Yes.
And it does not wash off. It is so nice. You don't feel it. You see it, but you don't feel the design like you would with HTV.
Yeah.
It's not going to wash off, y'all. It is.
It's amazing.
Yes.
It's whenever you start doing it, if you like, someone was mentioning they bought a convection oven from a thrift store just to practice, which I think is a genius idea. The first one you do, you're going to be hooked. You're going to be like, what? The first thing I saw, I was like, excuse me, what? Because I didn't understand what sublimation was. And then I think Caitlin showed me, and I was like, my mind was literally blown. It blew my mind.
I love the science. Like, I'm a science nerd when it comes down to it. So, like, the science behind sublimation and how it works. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Elena asked how much the course is with the $70 off. It comes down to $127. Is that correct, Sadie? $127. Yeah. And you can do that in payment plans. It's not something that you have to purchase like you have to do all down payment the first time. You can do that in payment plans.
And it's like not that much if you break it into payments.
It's not.
It's not. You know.
No, I think you can break it into 2 payments.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like 60 something, like $62, $63 and 50 cents maybe.
Yeah.
For 2 payments. So yes.
Lots of people here today. How many do we have? We're on live chat, so I can't see. What's it say?
Hold on.
Yay. Okay. Well, hopefully more people will kind of join us as we start getting into it. Should I go ahead and jump over?
I think you all are really, your mind is absolutely going to be blown with these hacks. So we'll go ahead and let Alicia go over to the craft table.
Okay.
And I will keep an eye on your all's comments. So if you have any questions, definitely drop those in the comments and we will address those.
Yes. Hello, everybody. If my shoulders look weird, I have a really bad sunburn and I am shedding my first layer for the summer because I'm a ginger and I literally can't get a tan to save my life. So my shoulders look crazy. That's all it is. But I hope you guys are doing good today. I wanted to bring you guys like the best tips, all of the sublimation hacks that I could possibly think of to fit within an hour. I'm like, we need to get started. All right, let's go. I've got about 10 here. So I just wanted to start with some like basic ones and then kind of work into more ones that you might not have heard of or more not difficult ones because none of these are really difficult. And honestly, if you can get your time settings and heat settings down for sublimation, the process of sublimating is not that hard. It's actually a very simple craft.
Yes.
You know, I don't feel like there's a lot of things you need to know, but there's a lot of testing that goes into the materials you use, things like that. So I'm just going to start over here. I'm going to start with our simple things. So the first simple hack that I have for you guys is using a burnishing tool. So this is a burnishing tool, and you guys probably already do this whenever you are laying down like permanent vinyl onto it. Like if you do permanent vinyl on a tumbler, this is to hold your paper. Like if you're gonna wrap your template around maybe we'll go overhead. Can you see this overhead, Sadie? If you're wanting to wrap a template around a tumbler, this is a really good way to hold that tumbler in place. So it's not like if I just try to do this here, it's gonna try to roll around. Whenever you put it on here, it's just gonna stay like right where you put it. So that's like a simple hack. So whenever you wanna start doing your tape, I feel like getting that starting point on your template sometimes can be a little hard if you don't have like a steady tumbler. So that is great for that. That is super simple hack. Another one, and I'll show you guys, actually I'll just show you right now, right here with this, is whenever you are applying your templates onto your tumblers, you're gonna have this seam right here. So what you can do whenever you bring that seam together to ensure that you don't get ghosting. Now ghosting is when those fumes kind of seep out from behind the paper and it looks like, I wish I brought a mug up here that had
There's not a mug, but look, pick up that koozie, that side.
Yes.
There you go.
Right here. This is ghosting. Can they see that, Sadie? Right here. Okay. Where that E faded off, that's ghosting. So either I didn't tape it down, there wasn't enough pressure on the paper, different things can cause it. But what you can do whenever you're doing your tumbler wraps, and you've got this tape right up the middle, so you're gonna wanna tape your seams down. And if you start making tumblers, this is gonna make a lot more sense to you, I think. But this is a straight up and down tumbler. So what you can do is apply your tape, and you wanna always apply your tape, this is just a side note, you wanna always apply your tape with as little wrinkles as possible. And then once it's laid down flat, you're gonna run your fingernail over the seam. So let me get this down flat for you guys.
While you're doing that, I have a couple people, there was someone asked if we thought that the sublimation course was for someone who has been sublimating for a while. So one of the things, we've had a lot of people that have been sublimating for a while that still bought the course and said that they learned stuff, they learned new things
that they didn't know before.
Throughout the class that they didn't know before, absolutely. Yeah. We also had someone ask, do we think that sublimation is going to be the next big thing for crafters? The craft world is ever changing, yes. And I love that about the craft world because I love learning new things. I love trying different things. In our area, in the southeast area, sublimation has started becoming bigger.
Oh yeah.
I do think it is going to start catching on other places. Mm-hmm. And it was somebody said that they were retiring and that they were thinking about breaking into this to kind of supplement their retirement income. And if they said that there was no one in their area to do it, this is a great market to break into.
Absolutely.
You may have to take a couple, it may have to take you like teaching people what it is before they truly understand, but it would be an absolutely great area to break into if there is no one else in your area doing it.
Absolutely. So whenever you guys get your tape on here, if you can see, this is where the paper meets. All I'm gonna do is run my thumb up and down this seam line where the paper meets. And you just wanna do that so that it seals it in really well. And honestly, I did not a great job down here at the bottom. But normally it's gonna meet, your paper's gonna meet right here. So you wanna press that down as good as you can and make sure no air is gonna be able to escape that seam line so you won't get any ghosting.
And yes, the paper needs to be absolutely as tight as you can get it.
As tight as possible, yes.
And a lot of the tumblers now will come with a shrink wrap. At first, we didn't use shrink wrap. Like we just taped it. Tape, and more tape. If you don't think you have enough tape, tape some more. Yeah. But we also started using the shrink wrap.
Yeah. Okay, let's just go into the next one.
Let's do that.
This is my favorite one. I know we're doing it second. I was going to try to save it for last, but you're talking about it, and I can't help it. Okay, so ahead of me, if you're looking in front, like these look pretty good. Like these both look great to me.
They look good.
Yes, they look good. Let's go overhead. I want to show you guys the difference here. And if you sublimate already, you may know why these are different. Can you guys see that this one right here is a little bit fuzzier than this one? Tell me if you can tell the difference. I want to know, because what we did, so this one was this was sublimated just like in a convection oven. We did the tumbler wrap, we stuck it in for 4 minutes, did like the whole normal process. The difference is here, we wrapped our template just like we did on the first one. We used shrink wrap.
And I don't think they're ready for this next part. This next part is gonna blow your all's mind.
Yeah, like why it works, I don't know. But we used shrink wrap immediately out of the oven. We put it in there at 400 degrees for 4 minutes, immediately out of the oven. I've tossed this into ice cold water. I put it in a bucket of ice cold water. I completely submerged the entire thing. I did not take any wrapping off of it or nothing. I literally just dumped it down in there and let it sit and let it cool down, and then I pulled it out and it looks like this. So same settings, all of that. And you can even see in the letters are more fuzzy on this one opposed to this one. So you can see how much crispier our ice tumbler turned out. So I think that's amazing.
Listen, so what the ice water does, or what that ice cold water will do, is it actually stops the process of the sublimation. So if it's still hot, that gas is there's still an exchange with that gas between your blank and your paper.
Yes.
So when you stick it into the ice water, right there, it stops that, so there's no more gas exchange.
It's basically, imagine if you didn't put it in the ice, those particles are still kind of floating around trying to find their final destination.
Yes.
The freeze is like, nope, you're going right here. And that's why it looks so good. And also, a lot of people are talking about the shrink wrap and like, can it go in the convection oven? Yes, I have another hack for you guys. I have butcher's paper right here. If you sublimate, this is like on your to-do list. Get butcher paper. You're going to need it for literally everything.
You can act within my research of coming up with prices for tomorrow. Butcher paper was like $16. Now, it was not the big roll, but it was at least a roll to get you started. It's $16 on Amazon.
It's not bad, and it lasts for like ever. So what you can do when you open your convection oven, and you can take copy paper to do this, but if you're sublimating, you're gonna have butcher paper on hand. All I did was slide this in the bottom of my convection oven. It gets a little crispy, it gets a little brown. Only put it in right before you're gonna use it, and take it out right when you're done. So don't let this like sit in there. Obviously it's gonna catch on fire. Do not do that. But that prevents the shrink wrap from melting to the bottom of your convection oven. So there's another little hack for you guys.
Nikki
so
said the ice bath was the same thing you do with hard-boiled eggs.
It
Exact
is.
same concept.
Yep.
Exact same concept. It stops them from cooking or continuing.
Yep.
It is the exact same concept. And we think it does come out more crisp. Someone asked if it came out more crisp because of the shrink wrap or the ice bath. I really think it's a little bit of both, because that pressure.
From the shrink wrap,
we don't have a tumbler press, like a specific. I know I was seeing that there are a lot of tumbler presses that you can buy as an addition for your heat press. We don't have a tumbler press. We've always used the convection oven.
Yes.
Which has worked good. So somebody asked if we would use the shrink wrap if you had the tumbler press.
I mean, I don't know.
We can't say one way or the other, because we've never used the tumbler press.
We haven't been able to actually practice with that, but I would love to I would love to try it. I'm seeing silicone wraps up here. I feel like that might be beneficial in a heat press.
A silicone mat in the bottom of your convection oven, if you don't want to use your butcher paper too, would work.
Even like those silicone trivets that they have, you could just keep it in there. Just keep it in there. Like that's your standard little mat. That way you don't have to put the paper in there. Parchment paper, no. Butcher paper only. Just if you use any other kind of paper, there's going to be like a wax film. Some kind of film is going to be on almost any other type of paper. Just stick to butcher paper. And the shrink wrap, yes, it does help eliminate ghosting at the top and bottom. And you can see.
Yeah. Susan said, can you do this with mugs that you sublimate in the convection oven? Absolutely.
Yeah. And if we go overhead, I want you guys to see, you tell me which one looks better. This one. Because this one had shrink wrap. This one didn't, and it ghosted at the top. So this one was taped, this one was shrink wrapped. So that answers your question there. I feel like, and you can still get like a really good, positive product. Like it's still gonna look good, but like it's gonna look flawless if you do the shrink wrap and the ice.
And like I said, the craft world is ever changing. We did not, we thought that at first, we thought, shrink wrap, we can get the same effect. We don't need to use a shrink wrap, but the shrink wrap,
it really did.
After trying it and testing it, really does make the difference that we have seen. And yes, you do have to shrink it before you put it in the oven.
Yes. The shrink wrap usually comes with the tumblers that you purchase. Like every time I have ordered blank tumblers, it comes with a pack of shrink wrap, literally in there. So it should be included. If you buy sublimation tumblers, it should be in your box, ready to use, because they recommend that you do that anyways.
Right.
Do you lay your cups on the side or keep them standing up? And do you rotate it at 2 minutes? I stand them up and I rotate them at 2 minutes. Yes. So, and we go into more like heat settings for different projects in the course. But for the tumblers, 400, 2 minutes, rotate, 2 minutes, pull it out, dunk it in the ice, and you're good to go. But love that hack. That's one of my favorites. I'm going to move this to the side just so I know that I went over it already. Another thing, let's do, which one should we do? Our heat gun?
Real quick, we've got a lot of people asking about taping if we use the shrink wrap. So we still tape. You may not have to use as much tape as if you're not using the shrink wrap, but it's still going to be important to tape that down because that shrink wrap, and I know you all have been asking where we get it. Literally, the tumblers that we have linked that we purchase come with it. Other than that, I'm sure they have shrink wrap that you can buy if you just Google it on Amazon. But what you do is it's a sleeve, and you set that sleeve over top of the cup. So it has to be taped, otherwise there's a chance of that paper moving.
Yes, so yeah, the paper, definitely always tape it, and that shrink wrap's gonna go on there. If you've got a heat gun, even a hair dryer is gonna shrink the shrink wrap around it. So just blow, like I've got the heat gun sitting right here. I just use this heat gun over the shrink wrap, and it literally just, like sucks it all in.
Yep.
So that's all you need for that. Aprilla's saying that I'm sorry, I just assumed. They laid down the tumbler, but they didn't turn them and they came out even. They laid them on parchment paper. So we use butcher paper. That just feels safe to me.
Yeah.
And you guys will come up with your own ways to do things. Like if you feel better laying your tumblers down as opposed to staying them up, whatever's going to work for you. And sublimation's a lot of trial and error. We have done and made a lot of mistakes, including today. We've made mistakes today, practicing some things. Lauren, yes. Lauren was having issues with the sublimation project. Oh, but anyways, it's just a lot of trial and error. So that's, it's just going to be whatever you feel more comfortable with and whatever works with the equipment that you have. If you have a different convection oven that's bigger or whatever, there's going to be different scenarios that you need to use different supplies. So the next hack that I've got is the heat gun hack. So this is just like a standard heat gun. I used this, if you guys watched, what is the title of that video? We did the terrazzo. It was alive.
Yeah.
We did a terrazzo tumbler. Why didn't I bring that tumbler in here? There were little spots all over the tumbler. The pattern that we used was not a seamless pattern. So whenever you guys get like patterns I think in our course, all of our patterns are seamless. In the sublimation course, I won't promise that, but
yeah, they should be.
Yeah, they should be. If it's a full tumbler wrap, it should be seamless. But sometimes if you purchase like some kind of pattern, or if you print a picture or something and you want just a small area sublimated, but you've already done your entire mug and you're like, oh my gosh, there's this one little area. You can tape a piece of the printed sublimation paper of whatever the picture is that you want, and you can run the heat gun over it and it will sublimate onto your cup. So you can actually like tape it down and only sublimate in like a small area. You don't have to do an entire like mug press, or you don't have to repress it, if that makes sense. I feel like I didn't explain that really well. So if you guys have questions about that, let me know. But the terrazzo tumbler, it had like little tiny stones all over it. So
where's it at? And I'll see if I can go grab it.
There's like 5 right there.
Okay, I'm gonna grab it.
I meant to grab it before we started. But there's little rocks all over it, and there were holes. They're right on this left shelf, Lauren. In the box, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
And so what we did, we just taped one stone onto the terrazzo tumbler, and then I took the heat gun right over that single stone, and it literally just sublimates it on there. I can show them just
That's not them. I think this is the one that we did.
Oh, is this the one we added one on? Okay. So if we go overhead, you guys can probably see. I did like 6 of these terrazzo tumblers just to get it right. But you can see like I had some overlap with my paper right here. So to prevent that, what we did was just kind of cut around these stones right here, and then we cut around these, and then I had big white open gaps. And what I did was cut out individual stones from another printout, and I would just tape them on here and then take the heat gun over it, and it would just sublimate that one stone. Does that make sense now? I feel like that helps.
Yeah, I think that
helps. So you have a visual, yeah.
We have had a couple people that have asked, are we going to update the sublimation course when changes occur? Yes, we try our best to keep everything updated.
Oh, yeah.
As things change, so that will be updated as well.
Yes, yes. Am I missing any other questions? I know you're on top of it, so I trust. If there's anything, just let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go on to the next one. So this is one that I just learned, and Courtney actually told me about this, and Lauren helped me figure out, because I was like, I don't know. I guess I have sublimated on neoprene, but I didn't realize this before. So what I have done here, whenever you sublimate on neoprene, neoprene's like the stretchy, what else is in neoprene? Koozies typically is what uses it. Like the popsicle stick holders, things like that. Whenever you do that, I'm trying to find the one. Okay, I cut this design. I printed it and I cut it in a square, a perfect square. And you guys can probably see that I cut it in a perfect square because there is literally a line all the way around that. Can they see that, Sadie? Can y'all see how there's like a edge? Okay, we don't want that. So what we did instead was rip the design. So I just printed the same design. I ripped it out instead of cutting it out. So the edges were a little bit more rough and you can't see a solid edge around this anymore. So that's like noticeably better in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
And I did try to do a print and cut, and you can still see the outline of the letters on this one. I like this one as well as the ripped edges one. But this one I did print and cut, but you can still see. I added an offset to this design and then I printed it and I cut it out, and you can still see that edge, and you're gonna see an edge no matter what. Like you're gonna see a little bit of an edge. We even tried to press them afterwards, and there's still an edge. So you're gonna see it a little bit, but I feel like when you tear the edges, it like thins that sublimation paper out. It thins it so it's not so like there's a corner, there's a line, you know, you can't see it as much. So whenever you do neoprene, make sure you are tearing your design or doing print and cut. I guess it's just going to depend on whatever design that you choose for your neoprene. But I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't know that that was like a whole issue.
But I will say that even with the tearing of the edges, if you make sure, like, you can go back in and press that, kind of press it out a little bit. It's still going to be there. Yeah. But you can press those edges out a little bit. But if you do that, make sure you use butcher paper again.
Yeah, a new sheet. A new sheet of butcher paper.
A new sheet.
Don't try to be skimping on your butcher paper, okay? Yeah. Okay. So we've got like 3 big ones left. I guess I can go over, let's go over this. This is a big one. So what I've got here is our 13 by 19. This is our A-sub paper. This is sublimation paper. It doesn't look any different than regular paper. It feels different. It feels like matte photo paper, or it's almost chalky. Like there's a film on it. And then we've always got the A-sub print on the back. So this is 13 by 19. This is like a big mama print.
Now, there are some people I know that do not have capabilities to print 13 by 19. But this concept that she's fixing to show you can still be done on an 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14 sheet of paper.
Even if if 8 inches is as wide as your printer will go, you can still do this concept. And what I'm gonna do is hop over in to Design Space, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I did this. So you can do it with any design. Let me get logged in. Hold on one second. People are asking about Teflon sheets. Have you used Teflon sheets for sublimation? I have not. I have not. Like as opposed to butcher paper, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm just.
Oh, my computer's not. Hold on.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay.
It's just, we've just always used butcher paper. I don't know. If you're asking what sublimation paper we use A-sub sublimation paper. Sam said I need to get a heat press. I only have the mini. We love the what is that? What is the brand? Is it Starcraft?
Yeah, it's
we
Starcraft.
love the Starcraft heat press. You can head over to 143 Vinyl. I think our link for that is posted below. That one is a really good one. It is a little bit more on the expensive side. But it's beautiful, and they now have the swing away one that is in stock, I think. There are some pretty good ones on Amazon that you can find a little bit cheaper.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so we're in Design Space now. let's see. So what I've done, this is for a blanket, for a sublimation blanket. I want to say they're like 36 by 24. They're like little baby blankets. But what I had to do, I did my design in Design Space, okay? You're probably thinking that's tiny. That's 5.7 by 8.4. What you have to do to trick Design Space is make your design, whatever design that might be. And what I'm gonna do is shrink it down. I shrink it down really small because obviously I'm not gonna be printing it that small. My blanket's gigantic. And I flattened my image, so it's now a print and cut. So I designed my image, I flattened my image, I shrunk my image, and now I'm gonna go to Make It. And it's going to, first of all, we need to mirror because we're sublimating. Always mirror your projects if you're sublimating. Otherwise, whenever you sublimate, it's gonna look backwards. I'll select continue, and then I'm gonna send it to the printer. So I don't wanna print from here. I want to print from our dialog box so I can change my settings.
And you want to turn your bleed off for this?
Yes, turn your bleed off, select use system dialog, and honestly, I print everything this way now because it's just out of habit.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like even when I'm doing like Cricut print and cut stuff, I always use system dialog because I feel like I can get really, like,
you can pick your settings better.
I get to pick my settings. That's really important to me. Picking best quality, things like that. So
yes. So once I'm over here, I want to hit best quality, and then I want to open in preview. So we're still not printing from here. I want to open this in preview, not printing from here. I want to open this in preview. Okay, it's still tiny. What I'll do now is File, Print. And here, I'm gonna be able to select, so the last dialog box, we didn't have the option to change the size of our paper. We need to be able to change the size of our paper, and then we wanna blow it up as big as we can. So right now I'm at an 8.5 by 11 sheet. If I wanted to, I could scale this up to, like if you only have an 8-inch printer, you can scale this up to like 120 and literally just like fill it up until you don't want to cut off your design, but fill it up as big as you possibly can. I cannot center it, which is really frustrating to me. I can't center my design in here, but I can make it really big. So I like to go to our 13 by 19, and I think it's the A6. Let's see here. Nope, sorry. A3, borderless. No, you guys. Let's see. Which one is it? It's on here. The 13 by 19. Oh, it's the sub A3. I was like,
yeah.
Okay. There we go. We're at 13 by 19. So this is our biggest printer paper that we use. And right now my design is teeny weeny. I'm going to scale this up until I feel like it's as big as I want it to be. And honestly, that took it there. 200%. Let's do 210. See what happens. Oh, it kind of cut my design off. 205%, I feel like that's pretty big. And so from 205%, I would go ahead and send this to my Epson Workforce. And then if we can go ahead, I'll show you guys, this is what it will look like when you print it out. This is gigantic.
Yeah.
And so all I would have to do is print like 4 of these, and I can sublimate this onto that blanket.
So you can do that from Design Space.
Yeah.
Or you can work, a lot of what we do, you can work in Design Space, but you can also work in Canva as well. If you are familiar with Canva, it is there is a paid version and a free version that you can work in.
Yes.
I love working in Canva. If you are doing like simple designs, you can still use Maker's Gonna Learn images. You can still use fonts. Maker's Gonna Learn fonts in Canva.
Yeah.
You'll just go in there and upload those fonts. Upload the fonts that you have on your computer and do your design that way.
Yeah.
As long as you download let's say you download a PNG from makersgonnalearn.com, then you would go in there and upload that PNG into Canva. And I'll absolutely love, I actually designed a
license plate.
A license plate
It's so cute.
For Caitlin today. Kind of trying to play around with if we could do a license plate in the convection oven kind of thing.
You can't.
Which you can't. So.
Well, you can't do it the way we did it.
Not the way we did it. Maybe if there was another way.
Practice. I feel like if there's a will, there's a way, and that is like our motto in here.
Yeah.
I swear, if something doesn't work, we're like, dang it, we're gonna make it work.
We're gonna make it work.
And we will just. It's like beating a dead horse when we craft around here. I swear.
I know.
It's bad. But anyways, I love that hack. I use that constantly because I like really big images. I want to fill up my space. That's just the style of crafting that I like. Even like with signs and things like that. But yeah, so I feel like that's not too complicated if you wanted to do like a big full page design.
Right, and you can still, this is also still a way for you all to be able to work in design space in a program that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Somewhere, and you can still use that print and cut feature. So
yeah,
love that.
And Anthony was saying in the free version of Canva, they can't seem to size up right. Try the method that we just did here. So you can't really print from Canva anyway. So if you're going to download that image anyways, find it on your computer, send it to preview, and print it just like this. It should be the same exact settings. You should be able to change your paper size. You should be able to scale it to however many % that you want until it fills up your entire page. See if that helps you. I mean, it might. I usually go through Design Space, but I think that would work for you as well. So, okay, this is our next one, you guys. I'm gonna turn this to me. And are we overhead, Sadie? Yes, okay. So you guys may already know this. I've got a t-shirt right here. This is for our t-shirt making fiends. This is for the people who love the distressed bleach t-shirts that everyone's obsessed with right now. What we're gonna do, I've got flour. I've got an entire sack of flour in here, so that's fun.
Yep.
I've got bleach. What we're doing is I've taken my design, which is obviously backwards because we're sublimating. Always print backwards when you sublimate. And I have cut this out exactly around the edge. You could print and cut and it would cut even more precisely if you really wanted to get crazy. But it does start getting complicated whenever you're trying to sublimate, if you're like cutting out these teeny weeny holes. So what we did, we just cut the general shape, and then we're gonna turn this around, and I'm gonna take a paintbrush and flour, and I am going to paint around the edges. So what this is gonna do is basically tell us where we can or cannot apply our bleach.
So while she's doing that, we did have a couple questions.
Yeah.
Asking about saying they weren't able to do they weren't understanding with going from Cricut to printing larger. So yes, your design has to be 9.25 by 6.5 for it to technically work with be compatible with Cricut Print and Cut. However, once you go there and you go to print it, you turn on print from computer dialog, and you pull Cricut Design Space down. That computer dialog is in the back. You will then go to open in preview instead of at the very bottom, or on Windows it has it there as well in Windows. You just open it in preview instead of print.
Yeah.
And then you can save it. You can save it as a PDF and then open it as a PDF from there. And then when you go to print it, you just print. Change your paper size and scale it up. We scaled it to like 215, I think, 215%.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go through it very briefly so you guys can literally like see it in Design Space. So from your Make It screen, whenever you make something a print and cut, we've made it to where it would actually allow us to get into this page. We made it small enough. We're gonna go send to printer, turn off your bleed, make sure you've got the right printer selected, use system dialog, you're gonna print, and then we're gonna drag our screen down. Here's our box. I'm gonna select best quality, and then I'm going to open in preview, go file, print. I'm gonna select our super borderless, Super B A3 borderless. I'm gonna scale it up to 205%. And it's gonna fill up almost my entire sheet of paper. Before you sublimate, make sure you're cutting that edge off as well. That black line, we don't need that. And then you're just gonna print it and that's it.
Yep.
Once you do it like 5 or 6 times, you're gonna be like, okay, I got it. So anyways, let's get back to our border, our flower border. You guys are probably like, what in the world is happening?
I know.
Okay.
Sorry.
So what I did, I took a paintbrush and this is my sublimation design. I flipped it over. I am painting all the way around. And now we can take this off, and looky there, it looks like a state. We couldn't figure out which state.
Yeah, I don't know.
I meant to look it up.
Yeah, no.
And then after that, I'm just going to take another paintbrush with a bowl full of bleach and literally just paint this. I'm going to paint just inside this design, and you can see it starting to immediately bleach. We are using Clorox bleach. I do not recommend any other bleach. You go to the Dollar Tree, it's not going to work as effectively, I promise.
And just so you all know, this is one way that you can do this. There are multiple ways. Melissa said that you can sublimate on a dark colored shirt and then bleach it afterwards as well. You can do either one. It really depends on what your preference is. Some people like to bleach after. Some people feel like they get brighter colors when they bleach before. But please make sure if you bleach before, you let that bleach
dry,
completely dry. You wash it out and let it dry completely.
Yes. Do not bleach this and then go try to sublimate it before you wash and dry it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. I promise. Yeah. I promise. I made the mistake myself. That's why I'm telling you guys. And then you can just paint that. And so that's going to give you like exactly, which it's looking orange right now, but I promise it changes to white. We've already tested this colored t-shirt. And then after that dries, it turns white, bright white. And then after it's dried and washed, all that flour will be gone. You can tape your design back down and sublimate it, and it's going to be bright, beautiful tie-dye colors just like this.
Yep.
And that's it. And that's all you have to do. It's pretty easy. I feel like that's a fun hack. If you're a t-shirt person, Caitlin's a t-shirt person. She is the t-shirt queen. So I just love that.
We do have cardboard in between our two layers, just so everyone knows.
Yes, I've got a t-shirt, like, what do you call it? A t-shirt shape? Board, yeah. And then that is the second to last one. So we've got only one more. Does anybody have questions about anything so far?
Like I said, we did have that cardboard in between. One thing I do want to reiterate to you guys, when you are bleaching t-shirts, using a heathered t-shirt is very important because it brings out, it bleaches completely white in those areas.
Yes, it looks orange now.
It's orange now, but it bleaches completely white.
Yeah, and I'll show you guys before we hop off, like I'll show you guys how bright it gets because it's going to be sitting over there. Okay, this is something that Caitlin discovered last week. I'm obsessed with this. This is such a perfect Mother's Day gift. Literally perfect. Like, we're telling you guys this for just in time, okay? If you've already got sublimation supplies, run to the Dollar Tree or the Walmarts. Get you some laminating sheets. So I just took a laminating sheet and ripped it in half. I only got one side of the laminating sheet. I have a Dollar Tree canvas. This is the thin canvases, just like this. I haven't tried it on the wood framed canvases. I'm gonna assume it would work, but I feel like you can press these a lot better. The other canvases are kind of like bowy in the middle. They like bounce. So canvas, laminating sheet, print your favorite picture of your favorite baby, AKA my baby child, Ruby. This is my daughter, ain't she cute?
I know, she's adorable.
So proud. Print your picture on sublimation paper, and what you're going to do, so you're going to take your canvas. Are we overhead? Take your canvas. Imagine there's nothing on this canvas. I'm going to go ahead and open it so you guys can get the real gist. So you're going to take just your canvas. You're going to take 1/2 of your laminating sheet, because normally when you get those laminating sheets, it's like 2 sheets that meet at a seam. So like normally it's like there would be 2, and I just ripped it in half. So you're gonna take one side, you're gonna do shiny side up. So this matte side is gonna go down onto your canvas. You are going to put this in your heat press at 400 degrees for 5 seconds, okay? And it's going to melt this laminating sheet to the canvas. So after you take it out, trim it up, take your printed sublimation paper, lay it on top, put it back in the heat press at 400 for 25 seconds, and you're going to get a printed photo on a canvas. That's
I love it.
Amazing.
I love it.
I love it, you guys.
It even has it kind of has that quality of a printed, like shiny picture.
Listen, if y'all are familiar with the Smallwood Homes like wooden. This is like similar look to that. It looks like it's textured. You could put a frame on these and they would be beautiful. You could even spray them with a matte, like sealing spray, and they would look so good. I mean, there's so many things. You could just add a ribbon and like I give it as a gift. You could make a whole gallery wall of these. I think this is such a fun, easy sublimation project. And yes, this is the heat activated laminate that I'm using. If
you're having brown spots when you sublimate on laminate, I would assume that your heat setting is probably going to be too high because that's probably what it burns pretty easy. Yeah. So do you guys love this one? I'm literally obsessed. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wedding gift. That would be a good idea, like an engagement photo as a wedding gift. Yeah. So maybe we'll do like a more in-depth video doing that project. I think we may make a TikTok. I don't know. I feel like that would be a fun project to show you guys like in person. But yeah, do y'all have any more questions? Anybody? Yes. We don't put anything over those specifically. Caitlin, you can leave that as is. What do you mean, like with the butcher paper? No, the laminate, once you're finished. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. Now, I did take a lighter. I tried to use a heat gun, and it wasn't doing it. I took a lighter and, like, barely grazed the edges and kind of smushed them down so they're not, like, sharp. If you wanted to avoid doing that, you could definitely just pre-trim your laminate paper. But I wanted it to come all the way to the edge. So that's why I did it. And now everyone's like, I need a sublimation printer now. I know. I swear, if you put a picture of my family on something, I'm like, I want it. Give it to me now. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm like, if you got a picture, if I can put a picture of my family on there, I want to get it. Yes, you do butcher paper on the bottom and then put the canvas and laminate, and then you do the butcher paper on top. So I love that. You guys seem to really like that one, which it's my favorite too, so I get it. I think you could try it with an EasyPress, Linda. I don't know that it would be as consistent, but you could probably play around, and as long as your canvas isn't bigger than your heat press, you'll probably have pretty decent results, I would think. So the difference with the heat press and the Cricut EasyPress is that heat press, like that arm locks down and it has pressure. A lot of pressure. Pressure with sublimation is absolutely key. Yes. If I've used the Cricut EasyPress, and it's doable. Yeah. But you have to be in a position whether, like, sometimes when I do the EasyPress, I have to be like on the floor so that I can like really press down, get above it, and press down and stay there until the time is like after 60 seconds. Yes. So I mean, it can be done, but just know, like, you just laying the Cricut EasyPress on top of it. Like you would for HTV or something. It's not the same. No, it's not the same. And Anthony said that they use the mini press to deal with the edges, which Caitlin recommended that I do that, and I just didn't have it out. But yeah, you could totally take that mini press along these edges, and it would seal it all in. So yeah. We see any other comments? Good printer for sublimation. The Epson workforce. Epson. Yes. Anything. I'm gonna come over and sit with you. Come on. That was all of our little hacks. I hope you guys enjoyed those and found any of them helpful or useful. So if you are confused on which printer would be the best to convert into a sublimation printer, that is actually something that we go over in our course. And that's why I know it seems kind of like backwards, like why would I buy a course on sublimation before buying all the supplies? But we teach you how to convert those printers, which printers we recommend, things like that. Really, you can't go wrong with any Epson. Yeah. We really love an Epson printer. Sawgrass is good. We have used Sawgrass printers. Those are really good. But we go over all of those in our course. So make sure if you are on the fence about sublimation, I would love to hear if we have friends in here who have taken our sublimation course. Drop your testimonial, let the others know, like, hey, look, I love this, I learned so much, whatever you feel like you would like to share with us. Yeah. Because tomorrow is the last day for this sale. And so after tomorrow, we're no longer doing the $70 off. So if you want to jump on that and grab that sublimation course, now is the time to do it. No coupon code needed, just follow that link. You can break it down into payments. And this is something that can be a very profitable area of crafting.
Yeah.
So it is something that you can do. It's insanely, like it is professional.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not, I don't want to say it's like a professional. It's professional.
Yeah, once you've mastered like all of your settings and you learn how to do it, everything you do is gonna, not every single time, but like if you've got your technique down, you're gonna be putting out professional looking products every single time.
Yes.
So I think that you go over that, you're gonna be going over that a little bit tomorrow.
So tomorrow, I'm going to be doing kind of like a cost breakdown, what it would take to make your money back, secrets to sublimation, why you need to start now. And we actually are going to be doing a giveaway tomorrow since it is the last day of Sublimation Week. Yesterday we gave away a printer. Tanner said that we would do another giveaway tomorrow. So
love that.
We are super, super excited about that.
Yes.
We do have a lot of people that I've said, buy the course. Yes. So Barb, can you buy the course and do it in your own time? Absolutely. Like once you buy this course, you have lifetime access to this course. It never goes away. Even if you are a Maker's Gonna Learn, if you are a member, whether it be monthly, yearly, whatever, if you are a Maker's Gonna Learn member, and you decide, 6 months down the road, I don't, it's not in the cards for me right now to be a member. I just don't have the money. I don't have the time. You've already purchased this course and it's yours. So you still have lifetime access, even though you may not be a monthly or yearly subscriber or member. You still have access to that course forever.
Yeah. Which is huge.
And we do try our best to get things updated as they change. We like to change with the course. So yes.
All right.
Sue says, I've learned so much from Maker's Gonna Learn sub course. I'm now selling t-shirts and mugs and blankets and making money and paying for my sublimation course. Those are the things that we love to hear. And I know it seems like it's a lot up front. But it's really, once you sit down and do the cost breakdown,
it's
not that bad.
No, it's really not.
Yeah.
You guys are so sweet today.
You all have been so sweet. I have absolutely had a blast with you guys today.
Yes. And I hope that y'all have taken something away from this. Or if you don't already sublimate, I hope that these projects inspired you to jump into it and sign up for our course, because there's so much to learn about sublimation, so many things that we just have not even touched on here. This is just like, these are the types of things that once you are really invested and involved with sublimation are going to take your stuff to the next level. Even if you're just gifting people, they will not know that you made it. I always say whenever I hand make things, my goal is to not have anyone ask me if it's homemade.
Yes.
I want them to ask me where I bought something.
Exactly.
I want them to say, where'd you get that? Where's that tumbler from? I want that.
Megan also made a really good point that I, for some reason, it left my mind. You get 200 free, you get 200 exclusive files that are with the sublimation course that you can start. You have tumbler templates, you have all kinds of things in there. You have patterns, there's so many different things with that sublimation course. So there's about 200 files that you get that is specific to sublimation.
Yes, I love it.
So
Natalie
just purchased the course. Yes. Welcome.
That's
so glad to
awesome.
have you.
That's awesome.
I just started a business based around sublimation. Already have 2 shirts in developing.
What?
Wow.
That's amazing. 200 shirts. That's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah.
And if I had to guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're probably doing what? Shirts, $25 at least a piece. You take that and you multiply that by 200.
You're making money. You have a business.
You making bank. Yes. Yes.
I love that.
So, on that, I would love to see a video on that print getting bigger. We may need to do like an actual short tutorial on like really step by step instead of just kind of going through it pretty quick, because that is one that once you realize it and get the hang of it, like I use that so much now.
Oh yeah.
I use it all the time.
Oh yeah, me too. I love that. Sylvia just purchased the course.
Yay! Welcome. So glad to have you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If you have any more questions, please make sure you drop those Otherwise, I cannot wait to see you all back here tomorrow. We are going to be live again tomorrow at 1:30. We are going to be doing a giveaway tomorrow, so make sure you are here. That is going to be for people who are live with us tomorrow. And I literally cannot wait to dive into the secrets that you need for sublimation.
Yes.
It's going to be so much fun. Do we have a recommendation on bulk purchasing? There are a couple different places. We'll use Amazon sometimes. I was looking today. There are some sellers on Etsy that do bulk pricing. Coastal Business, I think, is another one that we've used for sublimation. There are quite a few different websites that you can find that do wholesale or bulk pricing.
Even Etsy had a few.
Yeah.
Etsy had some, but you have to be wary because there are some sublimation blanks that aren't the best. So like you have to really, like if you find a good supplier, like I would stick
with that supplier.
Yeah.
Because we have gotten some blanks that, like the tumblers, for example, they do have to have that poly coating on them for the sublimation to work. So for some reason, sometimes that poly coating isn't the best, and it doesn't give you that nice, good color. So just be a little bit on the leery side with that. Look at your reviews. Always, always, always read reviews.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see y'all tomorrow.
We will see you tomorrow, guys.
Bye.
Bye.